Hello again. Welcome to the game shop. How have you been? I've been good, thank you. Have you played any good games lately? Nice. Yeah, I haven't played anything new, but I always have so many on my list. Are you looking for anything specific today? A Nintendo Entertainment System? Okay, great. Yeah, I think we did just get a few in stock, so let me check. And have you ever owned one? It's your first one? Okay. Well, I can give you an overview of the console, the controller, and also any games we have. I know we have quite a few. Are you looking for any in particular? Okay, so I'll just grab a few of the popular titles and we can go from there. And you said you've played the NES before, but it's been a while. Okay, so I can also give you a tutorial. I do have a TV set up here, so I can just pop a game in and show you how it works. And then just so you know, every console we have traded in, we do clean it, refurbish it if necessary, and we have a 1-year return policy if anything were to break. So it's definitely better to purchase through us versus another online store or any other method for the retro consoles, of course. So I'm going to grab the console and the games and we can get started. So why don't I show you the few buttons, tell you about what cords you would need, and then I'm also going to just dust it a little bit too. Alright, so the first thing you'll need to get this up and running is an AC adapter. So I'm just going to plug this into the wall, and then the other side goes into the back of the console. So it's this leftmost slot right here. Just going to plug it in. Okay. And then you'll notice there is another plug, and that is the far right slot, and that is something called an RF switch, which I have connected to the TV, so I'll show you that in a few moments. And so with the actual console, again, you might think it would be heavy, but it's actually kind of light, and you have a few buttons. So let me show you up close. You have a power button right here, and then a reset button right here. And now you're probably thinking, where does the game go? So you actually just lift this up, and then in will go the game, which again I'll show you in a little bit. So this one is definitely one of our better NESs that we currently have. The others are really dirty or currently have some issues. So I know this one has been tested and is working properly. Let me just dust it a little bit for you. And then I'll also show you a controller. And we have 2 of them, which will come with this if you were to purchase it. Just gonna dust right here. And let me open this up again. Sometimes it gets kind of dusty in there, but this isn't that bad. Let me see. Yeah, that's not bad. And it even gets a little bit dusty in the slots here, which are for controllers, by the way. So it's always good to just keep it nice and clean. controller. Alright, so you're going to plug it in right in the front, like I said, and you'll see a 1 or 2. You're going to put it in slot 1. Make sure you press firmly so that you know it's in all the way. Okay. And then here is the controller. So both of them are in good condition, I would say. And they are the original controllers. And I should also mention the AC adapter and the RF switch are the originals as well. So if they were to need replaced down the line, we can do that for you. So here's the controller. Let's test it out here. I think it should be working properly. So, very simple. You have your D-pad, your select button, your start button, and then your A and B button. So not too much going on. But I actually like this controller. I think it just fits nicely in your hands for gameplay. I'm going to actually wipe this down a little bit too. Just to make sure it's super clean. Okay. And what else do I want to tell you? So before we actually go through the games, a few common issues with the NES that I see often with people coming into the shop is a game not starting up or a flashing red light. So that can mean a few different things. Sometimes the pin connector is dusty, and if that's the case, we can clean that for you in store so you don't have to worry about it. Or you could also have a dusty game, which is very common. So you'll want to clean the game. Obviously, you can use something called an air duster to just get all that stuff out. You can also clean it with a cotton swab and rubbing alcohol. So there's multiple things you can do. Another thing I see happen is the game gets stuck inside, and that can be a few different things, but most commonly the springs are sometimes worn out that are inside the console, or the NES just isn't functioning properly. So no matter what it is, I always encourage people to bring in the console so I can just take a look. If you do it yourself, there's always a risk that you could damage something further, so just to be safe. So I'm going to set this aside now to show you a few games, and then we will pick one to test out. Okay. So like I said, I just grabbed a few popular ones, but we do have more as well if you're interested. So let's start with, Super Mario Brothers and Duck Hunt. Alright, so this is actually a 2-in-1 game. So Super Mario Brothers is the top game here. And this game is a must-have for an NES. So this game takes place in the Mushroom Kingdom, and there are 8 worlds with 4 different levels each. It's your typical side-scroller Mario game. An amazing soundtrack, of course. And it's just very nostalgic. Very innovative for its time. And I think about that every time I pop it in. I mean, for any of these games, actually. They're just very impressive for the time. So you need to have it if you have an NES. Now, Duck Hunt, which is also a game you can play on here, is another very common NES game. And basically, you just shoot down ducks from the sky. by pointing at the screen with your zapper, which we do have one in store. I can actually grab that for you if you choose to buy this game. And you do need that to play the game. So it's simple but fun. Next, I guess I'll tell you about Super Mario 2. And this is just an awesome 2D platforming game. So compared to its predecessor, this one definitely has improved graphics, music, levels, and gameplay. And I will say it's very challenging. There are some challenging obstacles in this game. And it's very different than other Super Mario games, so it's kind of just like a different format. So of course another good one to have if you are a Mario fan. And then moving on to Super Mario 3. So by the time this game was released, everybody knew who Mario was. And he had a big following at that point. So here's the nice yellow label. And this is a fantastic Mario game. Really fun power-ups. Honestly, this game really still holds up today, in my opinion. And just another one you need to have in your collection. And these are all cleaned, wiped down, by the way, and in working condition. And then I grabbed this one just because it really is another classic for the NES, and that is Tetris. So if you never heard of Tetris, it is a puzzle game, and you control blocks like these by moving them around and flipping them to make lines. Very simple graphics. I think there were 2 different modes you can play. And this game is still very popular today. I know for a fact there are championships still held today, which is really cool, especially when you see younger people playing the game. It's always very impressive to see how good people are. So this game is definitely something meaningful to me. And this is The Legend of Zelda, and first thing you'll see is it's a very pretty gold game. And this was the very first Zelda game ever. So as a big Zelda fan, this is always displayed on my shelf at home. And this is very difficult, at least for me. There were not many clues given in this game. It was tricky to find items. Enemies were difficult. But it's iconic, and that being said, it is 100% needed for an NES collection. And the graphics were what they were for the time, but honestly, I think they got the job done and made this a wonderful start to the Zelda franchise. Okay, so do you mind if we test this one? Any preference? Okay. So let me move these ones out of the way. And let's see. Alright, we have the controller plugged in. We have the adapter. We have the RF cord. So now I'm just going to open this. And then pop in the game. And before I do that, also I wanted to mention, so this is where you would clean with a cotton swab. So I would recommend just wetting it with a little bit of the alcohol and moving it in and out vertically. And obviously let it air dry before you would play the game. And then this also gets really dusty. So even before playing any game, I would use your air duster and give it a good cleaning to get that dust out, or it might not work. So let's pop it in. And then once it's in, we can close this. And now let me get my TV. So now we are all set up. So hopefully it will work. And there you have it. So you'll just see this intro text. You have to kind of read it quickly. And this is nice because it kind of gives you an overview of what's to come. And now I'm just going to press the start button so we can try it out. And now you could have just hit start, by the way, but I wanted you to see that. So I'm going to register a name. Okay. And here we go. So here it is. And I know it looks very different than what you would see in a Zelda game today, for sure. But you can hear the classic music. And there is a little Link right in the middle. Alright, so it looks like we got our sword. Very exciting. Now let's see, okay. So it is the B button. So let's fight a few enemies. See, I just got a heart. Oh, let's get another one. Let's go over here. Some more enemies. So I'm sure you get the gist of it. Why don't we turn this off and pop in one of the Mario games? So, surprise, it's going to be Super Mario Brothers. And obviously, it's a classic. So jump is B on the controller. And as you can see, I am not good at all. But you get the gist. And I'm obviously not going to be in a speedrunning competition anytime soon. This game is very fun to just pop in, honestly, especially for a game night. And you can see that the graphics really aren't terrible. So I would recommend you pick it up. Alright, so what did you think of the NES? You'd like to purchase it? Alright, and what games do you want? All of them? Awesome. And I know you were looking for another game, right? Metroid. Okay, yeah, we don't have it in right now. But once we do, I can give you a call. Okay, and what is your phone number? you're a rewards member, so I'm gonna look you up, your email. Okay. So I'm gonna give you a great deal since you're a very good customer here. How does $150 sound for everything? Perfect. I will have my colleague box everything up for you nicely for your drive home. And how will you be paying? Okay, perfect. A gift card. Wonderful. Let's see, it looks like this will cover the costs. You still have $25 left. And do you want me to email a receipt? Okay. Perfect. Well, you are all set. And since you picked up some Mario games today, I wanted to give you this complimentary keychain. So I hope you like it. There you go. And thanks so much for coming in. It was a pleasure helping you with the NES today. If you have any issues, please contact me. I'm here every day. And if you ever need anything else for any other consoles, games, just give us a call. We're constantly getting new inventory traded in, so we're always happy to help. Thanks so much, and hopefully I'll see you again soon.